Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into something really, well, electrifying. This theme of unleashing unconventional ideas.
Yeah.
Finding that wild spark inside and letting it out.
hmm
And our source material for this deep dive is quite fascinating. We've got excerpts from Astrology of the Day for 26 June 2025 and the Story of the Day for the same date. Both come from Tarot by High C.
Right. And our mission here really is to pull out the insights, to understand what actually makes us ready to embrace those big, bold, maybe even wild
Yeah,
ideas.
the really out there ones.
Exactly. And crucially, how to actually take decisive action on them. We're looking directly at what these unique sources tell us about that.
Okay, so let's dive right in then. The overall energy for June 26th, 2025, they call it the wild spark. The main feeling is described as incredibly driven.
hmm
It seems like it compels us to finally, do something about things we've just been sitting on.
Yeah, like procrastination is just not an option.
Exactly. It explicitly says it's a good day to initiate new projects and take risk. And there's the sense of readiness. Like we're primed to think outside the box, embrace change, express ourselves differently. And interestingly, it notes that our wildest ideas are more likely to be achievable. That's quite a statement.
It really is. And what stands out there is how it paints this picture of a surge of energy, confidence, and the ability to take decisive action on our goals. It's like a push, maybe gentle for some, maybe not so gentle for others.
A cosmic nudge.
Sort of, yeah, to just go for it. Bring those ideas to life.
And it seems like this energy isn't just about projects, right? It hits communication too. The sources encourage a shift, making our communication style more expressive, dramatic, and confident for the next few weeks. But what does that mean exactly? Just say whatever comes to mind. Where's the line?
That's a really good question. It does encourage us to express ourselves without reserve. That's true.
Yeah.
But the key phrase is nobly defending our most important ideals with unflinching conviction.
Okay, so it's not just impulsive.
No, it's about authenticity. Boldness, yes, but rooted in purpose. Not just, random noise. Speak your truth, but maybe think first.
Got it. So what's behind all this? The planetary alignments. What's driving this wild spark energy? Let's look at some specifics. First up, Mercury sextile Uranus. That's a harmonious aspect. And here's where it gets really interesting, I think. It suggests we'll be getting unusual signals and information from unexpected sources. Says nuggets of gold are hidden all over her. We just have to look in different places than usual. How do we even start looking?
Oh, that's the point, isn't it? It's pushing us beyond just thinking outside the box. It's a cosmic nudge to actively seek those nuggets in weird places.
To not the usual suspect.
Definitely not. Real innovation, on this day anyway, won't come from your standard go-to sources or methods.
Yeah.
You've got to be willing to try something a little less tried and true and a little more out of left field.
Yeah.
Be open to those maybe strange new ideas when they pop up.
Okay. Then there's Sun sextile Mars. This sounds more straightforward, providing a free-flowing channel for us to move forward, making it easier to align actions and our energy, like things just click into place.
Exactly. It smooths the path for action. And if our actions and energy are aligning, well, what about our voice? The source really hammers this point about communication and expression. It says it's no time to play the wallflower, keep quiet.
Speak up.
Absolutely. Speak from the heart, it says, but check our tone. That's an important little caveat.
Right. Passion, but not aggression.
Precisely. And this alignment also apparently brings greater confidence in our ability to solve problems and a willingness to take risks. It all ties together.
Then we hit a longer influence. Mercury in Leo. This runs from June 26th right through to September 2nd. Okay, let's unpack this. It encourages confident, colorful, dramatic communications. Sounds quite theatrical.
It can be, yeah.
It suggests it's time to get more expressive and creative, put your ideas and projects on full blast, because apparently personal creativity and flair will take us far.
And if we connect that to the bigger picture, what it really means is we're being called to, well, own our story, own our power, our purpose. It's demanding authentic expression.
Like a deep truth.
Exactly. A truth that kind of burns through shame and beams with confidence. That's quite poetic.
It is.
It's all about aligning our actions and words with our higher self, that core, courageous part of us. And the message is clear. There's no room for doubt. Just own it.
But there's that caution again.
Yes, and it's crucial here, especially with Leo's flair for the dramatic. The source warns, a little temperance never hurt anyone. Because some people could just roar more, listen less, and use words to intimidate.
So confidence, yes. Ego trips, no.
You've got it. That's the balance to strike.
It's a vital point. And maybe the story can illustrate this. Let's switch gears to the story of the Wild Spark, set in the city of Lyriel. It's described as this futuristic metropolis, shimmering glass towers, skyways streaked with neon.
Sounds vibrant.
Very. And on this specific day, the story says, the air itself felt electric. Ideas, long held and half forgotten, rose to the surface like sparks seeking kindling. A great image.
It really captures that potential energy we were talking about.
Totally. And we meet Selin, a young architect. For years, she'd been quietly sketching these radical designs, things like spiraling vertical gardens, sound-reactive public spaces, bridges that shifted form with the wind. Wild stuff.
Things people probably called crazy.
Exactly. They were dismissed as impractical or impossible. But on this day, this wild spark day, everything changes for her. She wakes up before dawn, feels this undeniable urge to act, gathers her designs, marches down to Council Plaza,
To go for it.
storms it, really,
Yeah.
with this clarity and power she never knew she possessed. And she makes this bold declaration. She says, we have settled for structures that confine rather than inspire. We cloak our most luminous visions in the gray of caution, but no more. Powerful.
Wow. That's fascinating, isn't it? How perfectly her actions mirror the energies we just discussed.
Right?
The decisive action, just grabbing her stuff and going. The confident communication, that declaration. And obviously embracing these really unconventional ideas. Her ideas weren't just plans on paper anymore. The story says they felt like living things, ideas too radiant to ignore. She really embodied that alignment of action, energy, and expression.
And it wasn't an isolated incident. The story makes that clear. It mentions similar moments happening all over Lyriel, like a musician debuting an orchestral piece made from improvised street sounds,
Okay.
students turning an old abandoned transit station into a kinetic art gallery, even old men arguing philosophy in the squares with newfound passion,
Yeah.
fiery debates.
So it really was that unrestrained expression coursing through the streets.
Yeah.
A citywide phenomenon tapping into that same energy.
Exactly.
But importantly, the story also reflects that caution we talked about. It acknowledges the downsides. Some roared too loud, of course. Arguments flared, egos clashed, and a few words cut deeper than they should have. So it reinforces that need for temperance, for mindful communication, even when you're being bold.
Right. It wasn't perfect harmony. But despite those clashes, the overall feeling was positive. Massively so. The city felt alive, more honest and daring than it had in a generation. And Selin's story wraps up with her standing on the platform where her radical garden tower, one of those impossible ideas, would actually soon rise.
Wow, so they actually built it.
Yeah. It became a symbol of what was possible when people let go of shame, embraced their wildest ideas, and spoke with the full, unflinching voice of their higher selves.
So what does this all mean? What's the takeaway from Lyriel? It sounds like it signaled a new era for Lyriel. As the story says, not a perfect one, but one humming with the music of unapologetic dreams.
I like that phrase.
Me too. Because ultimately, the world belonged to those bold enough to claim it. It's a powerful illustration, isn't it? How these astrological energies can actually play out, creating real, vibrant change when people tap into that authentic conviction.
Absolutely. This deep dive really shows how the astrology and the story just lock together. They both point to this potent time for confident action, for expressing those unconventional ideas. It's a strong reminder, really, that maybe the world is ready for our wildest thoughts, more ready than we think.
For sure. And it underlines that message. Embrace those wildest ideas. Speak with that unflinching conviction. It can genuinely lead to vibrant, authentic progress. Even if, you get the occasional ego flare-up along the way.
Part of the process, maybe?
Perhaps just keep that idea of temperance in your back pocket while letting your real voice lead the way.
So maybe something for you, the listener, to think about as you go through your day. Consider what discarded dreams and half-formed concepts might be sitting there waiting for their moment to, demand life from you. What vision have you maybe been cloaking in that gray of caution that actually deserves to shimmer and rise?